What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show brought to you by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-host, Joey Wright. And joining us today, we have a very special guest, friend of the show, Jen Akins is joining us. For those of you that do not know Jen, you can find her on Twitter at Jen Akins NFL. That is JENEAKINS NFL, or click the link right below us in the description of this video. She is the fantasy football content manager over at 4for4 and BetSperts, and we are hyped to have you back on here with us today, Jen. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. Always a good time.
And we are playing a new game with you today. Last time you were on, we played some Fantasy Fortune, but today we are back to the OG poll perception. We got some people in the chat ready for today's show. Dave over here saying, sup. What's up, Dave? Shout out Dave from the Toronto area. Excuse me. And Jen, you just got back from your trip to Hawaii and immediately launched into a game show with us buffoons on a Tuesday. It's probably a stark wake-up call that you're back in the football world, having to look at these faces instead of the Hawaiian beaches.
Listen, it's a welcome surprise. Being a tourist gets old. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Like Hawaii is fantastic, but like after 5 days, it's like, all right, I need normalcy. I need not like tourists, just the normal routine is kind of nice.
My pillow. That's what I want. Like I want the pillow that's on my bed. Not
my
pillow.
Hotel pillows are horrible, no matter what. Like the hotel we were in, the bed was super comfy. The comforter was great. The pillows sucked. All of them.
They're either so fluffy that your head just sinks straight through to the middle and the feathers suffocate you all night, or they're so hard that you just rest on top.
Right.
And
you try to like maneuver. We were trying to snag it from our son's bed because, we were just trying to figure it out, and it was not, yeah. And I don't even love my pillow, but it's better no matter what, right?
We got some people in the chat. Ladarius here said, hello all. Hoping all is well with all today. Same to you, Ladarius.
Ladarius, happy WrestleMania week, buddy. I know you look forward to it every year. Happy WrestleMania week, buddy.
Albert in here saying, hello, everyone. What's up, Albert and Jay with the Lego? And we got Geek in here with the what's up, y'all. What's up, Geek? Glad to have you in here hanging out, my friend.
How are you, buddy?
Jay agreeing with us said I need my own bed after a few days. Yeah, I'm not the world's best sleeper, so having my own bed is a welcome treat. Scampers in here saying, good afternoon, FYF fam. And Jen, you got
I love Scampers. Hi, buddy.
Scampers is our favorite cat. And Damon here saying, sup, everybody. What's up, Dame? We got the FYF poll perception ringer in the chat. Dame ready to absolutely show up. And Ladarius with a happy WrestleMania week to you as well, Joey.
I think I'll watch night too.
Look who showed up in the chat. We got JL down here. What's up, JL? Hope you're feeling better, buddy. Hope you're feeling better. Well, JL, you're missing out on an excellent game that we're about to play today. We're going to play some poll perception. Before we do that, a couple reminders. First and foremost, if you're not following our guest, Jen, go and fix that right now. You can find her on Twitter at Jen Akins NFL. Like I said earlier, it's right there below her face on the screen. So make sure you go over there and follow her. And check out her work at 4for4. After you do that, if you're watching this, you should go ahead and hit that subscribe button on our video. Make sure you don't miss any of the stuff we're putting out. We got the morning show every day, and then we have multiple shows throughout the week, including Pub Trivia this week right here on this channel. Right after the Front Yard Fantasy Hour on FanDuel, we're coming back here for some Pub Trivia. You guys are competing. We'll see who's the king or queen of the chat when it comes to trivia. But now we're getting into some poll perception. This is our OG game. This is the game that tests our contestants' knowledge and understanding of the fantasy football landscape, of the public's perception of the NFL and fantasy football players. I'm going to throw a poll at one of our contestants. What percentage of people chose side A in this poll? Joey would then give me a percentage. So let's say 50%. And Jen, your job would be to guess whether the actual percentage is over or under the line that Joey set. If you get that right, you're going to get 2 points. And Joey, you'll get more points the closer you are, up to a maximum of 10 if you're exactly right, and a minimum of 0 if you are more than 15 percentage points away. There's one other option besides over-under that you can pick. You can pick to queen bee it, which means you think your opponent is exactly right. If so, you will receive the 10 points that they receive as well. And you will have the glory of being the first person to ever hit a queen bee on the fantasy football game show. It has never happened, but it's not statistically probable. It's a glory play. We'll go like this for 2 full rounds or 3 full rounds until we get to the last poll, at which point you guys are writing down a number. There is no more of this over-under nonsense. Both of you guys will write down a number. Whoever's closer is going to get that 5 points, and whoever has the most points is our poll perception champion. You ready?
I am. Simon, I just Googled something. I Googled what day of the week did Hank Aaron break Babe Ruth's record, and it was on a Monday. because I want to know, like, does it need to be like on a special day for Queen Bee? And so any day of the week will work.
Any day of the week will work. It doesn't have to be a Monday. Also, Jay said, do we have to subscribe to Twitter Blue to hear these polls? Not yet, but that is
soon.
Okay. I randomly determined the order before we started here. And Joey, you are going to be going first. Jen, that means you are going to be going second. You will be guessing the over-under in this first round, and then we will swap back and forth for the remaining polls until that final round. Joey, here is your first poll. And a reminder to everybody in the chat, play along with us. Throw your guesses down there. If you're right, we'll shout you out. If you're wrong, we'll mock you. And if it's an average guess, we'll probably just say the number out loud and move on. Joey, here's the first poll. In a Superflex Dynasty 12-team league, would you prefer to have Jordan Love or Trey Lance? What percentage of people chose side A, Jordan Love, in this poll?
Can I ask when this poll is pulled?
All of these polls are from within the last 5 days.
That doesn't help me.
Can I ask another question before he answers? I'll give you a little more time to think.
Absolutely.
Where is this poll taken? Is this a Twitter poll or is this like a world? Because they're two different worlds.
All of the polls I've taken are specifically from fantasy football Twitter, not even just NFL Twitter, but
that makes a huge difference.
There are days where I have NFL polls in here, but these are all strictly fantasy polls.
Okay.
I would say the last 20.
Your specific answer is 20 hours ago. So this poll is from within the last 24 hours.
Okay, that does. So I believe the John Lynch quote came out within the last 24 hours about, looking like this might be Brock Purdy's job. He's going to get first shot at it. We don't know what's up with Aaron Rodgers. Man, this is a tough poll to throw at me first thing, Simon. I want to just tell you that I appreciate that. We don't have a pitch count here on FYF. We might after this question because I'm really stalling.
You're doing a good job though, Joe.
I am. I think Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love's actually. Oh man, I don't think he's going to win this poll. I think he should win this poll. I'm going to go 43% Jordan Love.
43% Jordan Love from Joey.
Not confident. 43%.
Jen, do you think the actual answer is over, under, or Queen Bee? Joey's guess of 43%.
I'm confident that it's higher.
Jen thinks it's higher, and the chat tends to agree with her. We got Dave coming in here at 64, Scampers at 72, Victor with 78.
I think
Love too. Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, I think that, like you say, Aaron Rodgers, obviously we know there's no deal done, nothing like that. I don't think he's going back to Green Bay, right? He's either going to the Jets or he's retiring or whatever. So I think it's Jordan Love's job. And I think it's more Jordan Love's job than it is Trey Lance's job. So that's why I go higher.
Love goes to Jordan Love. Because of that, it makes sense. Ladarius in here with 73, Geek with 68, Dame with 79, and Jay, the closest one to you, Joey, with 56%.
See, but I think I trust myself too much from what I've been seeing in drafts, but that's the thing. In the last 48 hours, this really has changed a lot.
Yeah,
and it was this is
Scampers in here said Jen crushed the pitch clock. Yeah, Joey's up there stalling, and Jen says, "Watch this, over, baby." Well, the actual percentage of people that chose Jordan Love over Trey Lance, according to 1,445 votes, was 43%. Joey, you are starting it off exactly right. 10 points going towards Joey.
I was so confident.
On the first question. And it looks like the chat was all in agreement with you here. They were unanimously over, most of them way over Joey's guess on that one.
I just want to say, this has made up for risky business. I don't care what any of you say. This right here, let's go. Last week, I'm a big movie fan, Jen. I love films. And one of our Fantasy Fortune questions was a parody of Risky Business. And I love that movie. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get it. I couldn't see it. What is it? Najee Hair Risky Business. And I couldn't come up with it. And the chat has not let me live it down for a week now. But
I do remember that game because I remember I got Chris Olave Garden. I still remember that.
Yeah.
Another good one. Yeah. For Joey's, everything was there but the K. It was all there but the K.
That's actually pretty sad. Even if you don't know anything about movies.
It was one of the ones where if it had been on the actual Wheel of Fortune, it would have gone viral. Look at this. Right? I can't solve the puzzle with one letter missing.
I was so focused on those last three letters, like Sky Business or Spy Business. And I'm like, just didn't even get the. So anyways.
Well, Joey.
Wow.
I can't believe that that's the answer to the poll. But then again, I'm not a huge Dynasty person, so maybe I wasn't thinking from a Dynasty perspective. But it's still, to me, it would make sense to be Love either way. So
would you prefer Love in Dynasty at this point, Jen?
Yeah, but like I said, I don't play Dynasty. I just pretend for podcasts, but I'm just kidding. I really don't play Dynasty. It's the one thing I don't do, and it's on purpose because I'm just too busy with everything else. I can't add another notch to what I have going on. So, but I understand the concept of it, obviously, and I know what's going on there. But I still would prefer Love. I mean, we haven't seen a lot from Love. So to be honest, I don't know. He could suck, but at the same time, like job wise and organization wise and franchise wise, I mean, he's set up, but I guess we'll see what happens.
So from a redraft perspective, if you're looking at these two guys next year, you want to take a shot on one of them maybe a little bit later. The situation doesn't clear up in San Francisco. Which one would you prefer in redraft for next season? Is there any hope for a sleeper pick?
I probably wouldn't do either of them in redraft. I think in best ball, though, if I was going to go for a QB2 there, I'd go with Love. And Lance is worth a stab, and so is Purdy, obviously. But like we said, it's kind of cloudy at the moment. So Love, it's a little clearer unless something crazy happens. So I would probably go with Love. I mean, granted, the weaponry there is not fantastic, right? Outside of Christian Watson, it's not great there in the wide receiver and pass catcher department. But hopefully they'll figure something out in the draft.
Surely they have to, right? The year after Aaron Rodgers leaves.
Yeah.
So
I know he's been waiting for them to do that forever, and then they'll do it once he's gone. That'll be great.
Yeah. So what we've said about these polls from before is like I agree with Jen. Like I'd rather have Jordan Love than Trey Lance, but the general public right now is on this Trey Lance side. So this would be a great time to go trade for Jordan Love if you have Trey Lance. Like get him off your team if you know you can get Jordan Love.
Because look at the chat. Scampers in here saying I'd go Love over Lance in Dynasty, just straight up. I want Love over Lance.
For some reason, the Dynasty community is not ready to give up on Trey Lance. Every draft he's going before Love, and
it's probably going to be the next player that I hold on to just a little bit too long. We shall see. We got Geek in here. Nice job, Joey.
Thank
Victor
you.
with the wow, Joey. Impressive. And Joey's starting out strong, but Jen, it is now your turn, your first poll. Are you ready?
I guess.
Joey set the bar high, but it is your time. And you got him beat on the pitch count. Least, so the pitch clock. Mm-hmm. Here's the first one. Superflex Dynasty League. Side A. And Jennifer, unfortunately,
are we all Dynasty?
Unfortunately, because of the points in the season, there are a lot more Dynasty polls than there are non-Dynasty polls.
That's fine.
So side A is CeeDee Lamb. Side B is Cooper Kupp plus the 2023 104. What percentage of people chose side A in this poll?
Okay. I can't think about what I would do. I have to think about what I think that Fantasy Dynasty Twitter, which I'm not a part of Dynasty Twitter, but that's okay. I can still figure this out.
Hard mode. Or it could uncloud your judgment.
It could actually. I'm just kind of
deep in Twitter. Overthink the hell out of it.
So wait, I'm sorry. What am I picking? Side
A? Yeah. What percentage of people chose CeeDee Lamb here?
51.
51% on the CeeDee Lamb side. Joey, do you think the actual answer is over or under? Jen's got some 51%.
Under.
Taking
Who's got the pitch count now?
It's about the
I planned
same.
on doing that from the start. No, like I would. I'm gonna go under. I think that it's a good number to have, but I do think that 104 being super flex with Cooper Kupp, I think that'll sway. People love picks.
Well, we got some guesses in the chat. Jen, remind me of your guess. I wrote it down on the second number. It's not
51.
very clear to me. 51. I couldn't tell if it was a 1 or a 7.
It's a good guess. That's a really good guess.
We got some answers.
You could argue both, so that's kind of why I went there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, the chat's hovering around that answer. We got some below 38 and 33. We got some right around 50, 54, over. Dame with 59. Geek coming in with 38. So they're all circling that number. Some on the low side, some on the high side. The actual percentage of people that chose CeeDee Lamb side of this poll was 38%. Dave and Geek in the chat getting that one exactly right. But Jen, you're within 15, so that is going to earn you 1 point onto the scoreboard. Joey, that's going to earn you 2 points for correctly picking the over-under on that one. I am curious about Cooper Kupp's value going into next season. It feels like there's a lot of question marks on that Rams team. And when I'm looking at these drafts going on now, whether it's Dynasty, Best Ball, he's still like a first-round pick. And that just seems really risky. Jen, are you comfortable with where Cooper Kupp's going right now?
Not exactly. I just that quarterback situation. I mean, I'm a Matthew Stafford backer just from college and going to Georgia, and I've always loved him. But I don't believe in him coming into the season. He had a brutal, I mean, last year he struggled in the 9 games he did play. Then he had a spinal contusion that kept him out for the season, and people were talking retirement. Apparently he's not. He's coming back, and the Rams are saying he's their guy, but he wasn't great last year. And I don't know, I mean, Cup's still going to get the targets, but the quality of targets, right? We don't know what that's going to be. So, I know in best ball right now, Cooper Kupp is like pick 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there. And so for me, that's just a little bit too rich. I don't know that I want to invest a high first round pick when there's that many question marks there.
I'm with you. Way too much volatility for me to draft him there. Joey, are you in agreement, or are you a little more comfortable with Cooper Kupp?
No, I would much rather see him go in the second to maybe even third round. I don't think he'll go in third round. I think he'll probably go second. We saw the connection with him and Stafford, so we do know that they're good together. So this poll for me, really, it was that 104 pick. It wasn't as much the Cooper Kupp that swayed me away from it.
Especially this time of year. People start getting that rookie fever, and they want those picks, baby.
Good to know now for future that I know that now.
Jen, you're a good sport. I apologize for all the Dynasty coming up here.
It's all good.
Polls are slim pickings come March. We don't have our pick of the crop. Geeking here and Toronto celebrating together, getting that one at the same time. Well, guys, after
feels
that,
good, doesn't it, boys? You get it right on. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're moving on to our next round here. Joey, this is your poll.
My cat is going insane right now. He's like attacking my feet. You see me looking off camera.
It's Kevin.
Sorry.
No,
Yeah, Kevin
good.
is just driving me crazy right now. Go ahead.
Kevin can help you out with this one. It's a Superflex Dynasty PPR league. Side A is Jonathan Taylor. Side B is Saquon Barkley and Tyler Boyd. What percentage of people chose the Jonathan Taylor side of this poll?
I don't know how much Tyler Boyd's going to factor into this. I do know people love Barkley. I've seen Jonathan Taylor go before him in most of the Dynasty drafts I've been in. So I think it's going to be pretty heavy on the Jonathan Taylor side. I'll say 72% Jonathan Taylor.
72% Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. Final answer, Joey?
Yeah, 72.
Okay. Jen, do you think the actual answer is over or under Joey's guess of 72%?
I mean, like you said, people really seem to like Saquon right now, but Jonathan Taylor is Jonathan Taylor. And I don't know that Boyd really... What did you say, 70 what?
72.
I'm going to still go under. I don't think it's going to be that much under, maybe in the 60s, but I don't know. I clearly don't know.
Isn't Boyd a weird name to throw on here? Don't you feel?
I mean, he's a throwaway as far as I'm concerned. But then again, listen, if Chase or Higgins get hurt, then he's in the mix. So
it's true.
I don't know.
Are we forgetting that Irv Smith Jr. is there now to soak up those targets? Just
listen, I'm always down for a Bengals tight end. Just doesn't matter who it is. Throw it in there, and I'm a sucker. I'll draft him. The number of times I started CJ Uzomah when he was a Bengal was way too high. Every weekend you're looking for a tight end, and on the waiver wire, I'd be like, I guess Uzomah's the best option. Don't think I won't be hitting him up on the Jets this year, too. Him and Tyler Conklin. You'll see. CJ Uzomah will always somehow find a way to make it on one of my teams, or at least stream.
Until he retires. We got some guesses in the chat. Dave in here with 58%, Scampers with 88%, Ladarius with 71%, Albert with 67%, and Geek with 47%. So guesses a little all over the place on this one. The actual percentage of people that chose Jonathan Taylor in this poll was 75%. Joey.
I cannot win.
Joey's on fire today. Joey, that is going to add... What is that? You're within 5, so you're going to add 5 points to your score, bringing you to 17. Then, unfortunately, that over-under, it was an ever-so-close guess, so it was really a shot in the dark getting that was incorrect. I think the closest in the chat, Joey, you were the closest. Ladarius was the second closest with the 71% right here. You guys already talked quite a bit about these guys, but Jonathan Taylor and Saquon Barkley are both probably good to go for next year, right? Yeah. No concerns about these guys. These are my favorite players to talk about because you can just be like, good? Yeah, good. Yeah. Okay. Next poll.
Barkley in the franchise tag. It's good to see. Maybe wish he'd have got a contract, but if it makes him, play for a little more incentive, that's nice too.
From a player first perspective, from a moral perspective, of course, we want him to get that contract. But from a fantasy perspective, it works out either way.
Yeah.
Which means, Joey, we are done with your poll and we are moving on to Jen's next poll. Jen, are you ready for this one?
Sure.
I got bad news again. It is another Dynasty poll.
Yeah.
This one is Superflex Dynasty 10 team. Side A is Dak Prescott in the 2023 101. Side B is Trevor Lawrence and Treylon Burks. What percentage of people would prefer side A in this poll?
Interesting. Because dynasty-wise, I would assume that Trevor Lawrence, but there you got a 1-1. I mean, So wait, which side am I picking? A? Is that the percentage?
Yeah. Those are the polls that are the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Treylon Burks person anyway. Doesn't matter about me though, because this is not about me. I'm gonna go 59.
59% on the Dak Prescott and the 101.
Sure.
Joey, what do you think here?
So, man, this is tough because I love Trevor Lawrence next season. Like, absolutely love him. He's my QB5 in Dynasty. Like, I can't move him any higher at this point. Just love the supporting cast he's got around him now. I think a lot of people see that 101 and they see Treylon Burks and they immediately go to that Dak Prescott side. So I think that Jen is correct by saying that's going to win it. You said 69?
I said 59.
59?
Which I probably should. Well,
I'm going to go higher. I don't think it's much higher. Because, I mean, Treylon Burks, he's not a throwaway. I mean, he's a comparable wide receiver, but the 101 for him, you'll take the 101 every time. I think Lawrence is going ahead of Prescott in pretty much any dynasty league. It's 10 team. Okay, so here's the thing too. 10 team league, best players, best time. That 101 in a Superflex most likely is going to be Bijan, I would imagine, if you've got Dak. So yeah, it's going to be that side A, a little bit over though.
Joey taking a little bit over. We got some answers in the chat. We got Scampers with 85, Dave with 76, Albert with 65, Ladarius with 63, Geek with 75, Dame with 79, and Scamper saying Bijan is so hot right now. Well, the actual percentage of people that chose Dak Prescott and the 101 was 76%. 76% is the answer on this poll. And you were just outside of that range, Jen.
I was going to go, honestly, I was going to go a little higher, but I don't know, Dak, I should have just focused more on the 101 because Dak.
How are you feeling about Dak going into next season? Because I feel a little bit confused with what's going on in that Cowboys offense.
Yeah, he's tough to really, I don't know. He's tough to get too fired up about. I mean, last year, let me see, where is he? Right now, at least in for best ball, because that's my world right now, he's going as QB 10. Which I think is about right. I mean, last year he was higher, so I feel like he's at least being valued correctly. I mean, he has the weaponry. It just depends on, I don't know. That offense is weird. I mean, it was weird last year, and I guess we'll see.
It's weird. It's Tony Pollard and Michael Gallup, and it's just an odd mix of weapons there. But it seems like this offense is going to continue to work. Like, I have trust in them being a high-powered offense, so I feel like 10 is fair for Dak. I just find myself not wanting to click draft every time he's the next quarterback there. I pass on him. Joey, are you any more invested in Dak Prescott going into next year?
I don't know if invested is the word. I would say that I'm fine having him. As someone that likes to wait on quarterback, I'll probably get a lot of Dak Prescott this year, and I'll be fine with that. I mean, he's a Dallas Cowboys quarterback, so hope for him well in the regular season, and we don't have to worry about the postseason for fantasy. So, for fantasy, I like him a lot.
Also, JL came in and said 38 and then corrected it to 48.
Keep going, JL.
Wrong on both fronts. Wrong on both fronts. We are going to move on to our next poll now, which is Joey's poll. Joey, are you ready for round 3 to begin?
I am. Do we get some new rules this time?
There are a couple new rules starting in this round. So in this round, instead of just the typical over and under and queen bee, you can also now guess way over and way under. So if you think your opponent's guess is significantly off, you can throw that out there and you'll get double the points. It has to be 15 percentage points or more away, though. If you do that properly, call your shot, you're going to get 4 points. But if it's not, 15 percentage points away. So if you say way over and it's only 13 over, you're going to get 0 points for that call. So it's a double or nothing mechanic right here. We are getting it in there. Also, Dave in here said, nice. Did I get it again? I did not even see that, Dave. 76%. Dave's on fire today. Gotten 2 of them exactly on. Nice job, Dave.
I just can't have a moment.
Yeah, the chat immediately.
Come on, Dave.
Joey.
Everybody's
Joey,
like, oh, Toronto Dave, so
2.
nice from Canada. No.
Okay, Joe, are you ready for your next poll?
I'm very ready.
Okay. We were just talking about him a little bit, but here's your poll. In the Dynasty League, which player would you prefer? Side A, Bijan Robinson, or side B, Marvin Harrison Jr.? What percentage of people chose Bijan Robinson?
I want to go high, but that Marvin Harrison Jr. Pro Day, a lot of people got excited. But who said it earlier? Bijan, he's so hot right now. I think it was Scampers. I'm gonna go, but it's Dynasty, so wide receiver. Still, I'm gonna say 85% Bijan to cover the way over in case it's 100% or way
85% Bijan. That's what you're going with. Final answer?
Yes.
Okay, Jen, do you think the actual answer is over or under Joey's guess of 85%? Or way over or way under. Those options are available as well.
I don't think it's way either. But I don't know because I really I know that Bijan, or Bijan or whatever is very, but see, I didn't know when you said Dynasty and then you said wide receivers, I don't even know that that's a thing. So to me right now, I'm like, okay, so that, I didn't even know that was more heavily weighted. Because whatever. So, all right, I'm going to go with over.
An over from Jen on that one. We got some answers in the chat.
But
Dave
not
was
way.
Just a normal over within
that. Normal over.
Dave taking 66. Scampers with 77.
Oh, well then, okay.
Darius with 81. Geek with 69. Dame with 54. Victor with 66.
Nobody agrees with me.
And Albert with 60.
Not a good thing.
It's okay. We saw Joey get one right where the entire chat disagreed.
You remember that? Yeah. That was cool.
The actual people that chose Bijan Robinson over Marvin Harrison.
The way this going with me
was 45%.
What? That's ridiculous.
5% in this poll. So Joey, I'm sorry. With over 1,000 votes, Bijan Robinson got less than half the votes here. The Marvin Harrison Jr. hype, he's not even eligible this year. It's the following year, is through the roof. Just unbelievable what people are saying about this kid.
I've been on poll perception a lot of times. I think this might be the most unbelievable line I've ever heard.
Jen, I am curious. You were talking a little bit about Bijan. He's coming in as a rookie. What is your policy whenever it comes to drafting these rookie running backs? Because it seems like every year there's value to be had in rookie backs, but it's scary to draft someone who hasn't played an NFL down yet.
Yeah, I tend to stay away from them. Let me back up. I like rookie running backs later in a draft. They come on late in the season and they're great. But right now, Robinson is a early second rounder in best ball drafts. And to me, that's absolutely insane. We don't even know where he's going. It's just a lot. So I do love a rookie running back, but I like the later ones that are good, like a Michael Carter that's going to come on later. Guys like that due to injury or due to maybe giving a guy less workload as you get down the stretch for a team that's going to the playoffs. Whatever it is, rookie running backs tend to come on late in the season. So I do like those guys, but those early investments are a little scary. I know, Bijan, whatever. He's a generational, blah, blah, blah. I get it. He's great. But I just don't know if I'm investing an early second round pick on him right now.
The leaf blower is right outside my window. So Joey, would you like to talk about Bijan Robinson for a moment?
Yeah, I would. So I think Bijan is in this really interesting coming into the league as far as Dynasty goes, because CMC is a little up there. Austin Eckler is getting a little older, and those are probably your 1-2 running backs. I guess you could throw Jonathan Taylor in there too. So you've got this young hype running back coming in Dynasty, where the top two options are getting to that period with running backs where they tend to die off a little bit. Or not die off, but they tend to decline a little bit. So I think that's why Bijan might be getting a little bit more hype than normal and getting a lot more dynasty value than normal. I would still much rather have CMC or Austin Eckler or Jonathan Taylor heading into next season. And there's probably another handful of running backs for just redraft. But for dynasty, it's man, I would spend a first round pick on Bijan. I've seen him go at the end of the first round a lot.
I just can't do it.
Tough.
I understand, but I'm more with Jen on this one. Like, there's other picks that are going to be good picks at that spot that I don't need to take the risk, even if the upside's there. So maybe that's like being a little risk averse. But when it comes to drafts, I tend to be risk averse. And then whenever it comes to the rest of the season, the roster moves, the waiver moves, I tend to be a little bit more aggressive.
It's also knowing your league too, like who you're drafting with. Like if you're drafting with a bunch of developmental guys, a bunch of Debbie guys, I mean, you're not gonna be able to get Bijan in the first, 4 picks because they're gonna reach for him because they've been looking at him for 3 years now.
And then, Jen, I tend to agree with you in redraft. I was drafting a ton of like Tyler Algier last year. I wasn't drafting a lot of the Kenneth Walkers up at the top, but I had Tyler Algier on the back of 10 teams sitting on the bench ready to go whenever he started picking up that workload.
Yeah, I had James Cook pretty much everywhere, and he came on. I mean, of course, it's totally biased because I went to Georgia, and I'm always going to do that. And I'm going to do it this year, too. I'm going to draft Darnell Washington, and I'm going to draft Kenny McIntosh, and it's just going to happen.
It's not a bad strategy.
But, no, I always have to be a little biased sometimes. But, no, I love those later round guys. And, listen, sometimes the early round guys hit, but it's – especially with running backs, it's tough. And same thing if we talk about Marvin Harrison. I mean, same thing with these rookie wide receivers. There's a lot of them, and there's going to be plenty later on that I don't know if you need to reach for some of the early ones as well.
And how many times have we seen a N'Keal Harry or a Laquan Treadwell or a Corey Davis or a Kevin White? Like, you can just keep on naming these first-round talents, early first-round talents that didn't pan out. Sammy Watkins. Oh, that one breaks my heart.
Sammy Watkins.
That one hurts me to my soul.
Are we done with Sammy Watkins finally? Is he where is he right now?
There's week 1, and then we can be done with him.
Well, right, but I don't even know where is he.
He's with the Ravens still.
Oh, he is? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, then maybe we're not done with him.
Oh, he's a free agent. He's a free agent now.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah. He'll sign somewhere. Probably after the draft. He'll get a deal somewhere. We'll see where he ends up. We're going to move on to our next poll now. Jen, this one is for you. Are you ready for your next poll in the third and final round here? Here it is. And you guessed it. More of your favorite thing, Jen. I am so sorry.
It's okay. You guys didn't know. It's all good.
We're going to do a redraft special next time we have you on. This is a Superflex Dynasty 12 team. Side A is the 2023 101. Side B is Devonta Smith in the 2023 107. So what percentage of people chose the side with just the 101?
Ooh. You're still getting a first round pick and you're getting Devonta Smith. I guess Superflex really doesn't matter. Well, I guess it could if you're
So JL in chat saying no. Not sure what you're talking about.
I think that was about Sammy Watkins. I don't know though.
that would make sense. JL loves Sammy
Watkins. About this poll.
Okay, so side A, I don't know. I mean, I feel like I kind of want to just be safe in the middle. I'm going to lose anyway. Let's be real. So let's just, I'll go 52.
52% from Jen on that one. Joey, do you think the actual answer is over or under Jen's guess of 52%?
I think this is so 50-50.
I
love Devonta Smith. I really do. And this being super flex, that 107 is a little bit more valuable. Man,
what do you think?
52. I'm gonna take the over. I'm not gonna take way over though, because I think it's really maybe like 54 or something like that.
We got some answers in the chat, and they're agreeing
You're
with
really
both
close,
of you.
Jim.
Dave with 68, Scampers with 44, Dame with 79, Geek with 43, Ladarius with 55, and Albert with 48. So bouncing back and forth over and under your answer throughout all of the guesses in the chat. Well, the actual percentage of people that chose the 101 over Devonta Smith in the 107 in this poll was 66%.
I won.
So Jen, you are within 15 percentage points there. Going to get you another point thrown on there. And Joe, you correctly picked the under, scoring you some more points as well. And
Wait,
thought
what?
this one was in.
Wait, I'm sorry. I thought you said it was 60-something%, right?
Yes. And you said 52.
I said 52
right?
and he said under. So how did he?
Oh, you are absolutely correct. That was me
Nope.
being an idiot.
I thought I said over because I said 54.
Oh, did you? I'm sorry. Then that's my
What
bad.
can we? Do we have someone that can check the tape? I will.
No.
With,
you know what
okay.
you said. I probably heard you wrong. Okay, yeah, you said over. I'm so sorry. That's my bad.
Scamper said Joey had said over. No,
Thank
that's why we got the chat to check for us.
Yeah, no.
because
I heard you wrong.
If I did say under, which I think I said over, I will forfeit this game and it will go in the record books with a big old asterisk. If I
haven't gotten anything right, why would I get this one? You know, it's all good.
That was a really good line though. Like I love that line.
Before we move on to our final poll, I did want to ask you guys about Devonta Smith because I see rumblings from a lot of people on Twitter that they think he might take over as the wide receiver 1 in that offense, that if there's a wide receiver to roster. Jen, are you buying into this Devonta Smith hype, or is A.J. Brown still the one for you there?
I mean, I like Devonta Smith. I like them both. I mean, A.J. Brown, I don't know. He's been he's been pretty weird this offseason, right? And on social media, and he's been a little bit aggressively weird. So, but that doesn't matter. I like them both. I feel like there's room for, and they both, I don't know what their numbers were last year, but I think they were both, pretty good fantasy. I don't know if they were both wide receiver 1s or one was pretty close or whatever. So, I don't know if he's going to take over, as the wide receiver 1 for the Eagles, but I think, they're similar to a Chase and Higgins where they're going to both be pretty valuable and they're both going to be, single round draft picks and rightfully so.
I believe they were both top 12 wide receivers last year.
Yeah.
To your point, there's definitely room for both of them, and that's about where I stand. I prefer A.J. Brown over Devonta Smith, but I'm also, who cares? Give me whichever one's drafted around later, or 2 rounds later if you can get Devonta Smith.
Yeah, I'm going to be writing an article this year about wide receiver 1s to pass on to take the wide receiver 2, and A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith might as well headline the article because if you look at the second half of the season, Devonta Smith was only 0.2 of a point per game behind A.J. Brown. And if they're that close, like Simon and Jen said, I would rather wait and take the one that I can get a little bit later and maybe take a running back where I would take A.J. Brown or a tight end like a Travis Kelce or a T.J. Hawkinson.
God, you just have to sneak in the T.J. Hawkinson love. I apologize. The leaf blowers have the worst timing today. They just have a mind of their own. It's that kind of season. The leaf blowers are finally starting to wake up from hibernation.
I'm going to interrupt you for 1 sec if you don't mind. I just I'm currently in an underdog best ball, and I was just kind of looking to see where they're going. And actually, the same person took them both back to back. So A.J. Brown went at 1.8, and then he took Devonta at 2.5. So that's his. I mean, we just started the 3rd round, so those are his only picks right now. But it's kind of interesting. He's obviously going to stack or try to do the whole stack. But
I was going to say, it seems like the 3rd pick's probably going to be Jalen Hurts.
But why not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so we got them right now, the 1st and 2nd rounder, which is kind of nuts, but I get it.
2nd round for Devonta Smith. That's a little bit higher than I've seen him going. But Joey, is that too high for you, or are you comfortable with him in the 2nd round?
So that's at the 2.5. So that's at the that's a little.
It's early.
It's early, but it might become more the norm as we get closer to draft, like redraft season. You said that's in best ball. Correct me if I'm wrong. In best ball, people sometimes will go a little more to make the stacks. They'll reach a little bit.
I mean, not but I mean, not that much. Like that's I wouldn't like that early. I don't
Can I ask who went after him? Like what the next 3 players were?
Yes, Chris Olave, Jalen Waddle, Patrick Mahomes.
I'd rather have Waddle than Devonta Smith, but Olave with Michael Thomas staying, I mean that. Oh man,
you got Waddle, and then T. Higgins and Metcalf were the next 2 receivers after that.
I'd probably rather have Higgins. See, I mean that's that area, that's that range, that tier.
Yeah. Higgins and Waddle were the only names you said where I was like absolutely over Devonta Smith.
Thanks for bringing that into the show. That was fun. A little exercise.
I thought you were being rude to me about the leaf blower for a second, and I was like, it's not my fault.
No, we need a strongly worded letter.
Also, Geek and you saying leaf blowers have adopted AI, and Scamper saying that's pretty rich for Devonta. Yeah, but we'll see. Top 12 wide receivers. That's pretty much where you have to draft him if they did it last season and we're expecting it again. Now, before we move on from this, do you guys have concerns about the change in offensive coordinator there? They did promote the quarterbacks coach, so I imagine they're going for some sort of continuity, but with Gannon out the door, does that concern you for Hurts or these wide receivers?
So I'm not as concerned, and it has more to do with the defense kind of, not, I want to say falling apart for the Eagles, but kind of dispersing in a way. It's not going to be the same next year. And so I think Jalen Hurts is probably going to have to throw more next year. So I think, Smith and AJ Brown are going to get a little bit more work next year than they got this year. So that's exciting. So I'm not exactly worried about them.
Makes sense. Jen, you agree with Joey here? Not concerned with the change?
Not on offense, no. Like he said, the defense kind of got blown up as well, but I think it'll be interesting. You've got Rashad Penny in the mix now too, which is kind of a whole different thing. If he can stay healthy, that'll be interesting as well. I'm excited about Penny. I also, he does get hurt, and I don't know if I feel like Jalen Hurts is going to probably take away some of those goal line carries, but I guess we'll have to see. But I mean, Penny, I just did an article at 444 yesterday, actually. It is best ball related, but it was basically the top ADP risers and fallers after free agency. So, and he was he rose like 60 something spots based on his landing spot. So
it's absurd. Penny's a tough one for me because you just look at the numbers. Dude averages over 5 yards a carry, right? Similar to what Miles Sanders was doing there in that offense. So they're plugging 1 5 yards a carry guy in for another 5 yards a carry guy. Yeah. Has just been a little bit disappointing for fantasy due to injuries or whatnot. So
right.
We'll see what his draft cost is. If he's going late enough, he could be a value because people are scared off by the injuries. And I'll gladly take the running back in that Eagles offense, especially one like him. Well, Jen, we are moving on to our last poll here, and I got some good news. It is not a dynasty poll.
Really?
It is also not a football poll at all. It is about something else entirely random that has nothing to do with anything we've talked about so far on this show. And here's our last poll. You're going to need pen and paper or something to write on for this one. All you're going to do is write down your answer. Whoever's closer is going to get 5 points. Unless you hit it right on the head, at which point you will get 10 points for getting that. And here is the last poll. Do you actually know how to play Minesweeper, or do you just click shit? Side A is I know how. Side B is I just click shit. What percentage of people said they actually know how to play Minesweeper? And for full transparency, this poll is from 2015, and it has 17,000 votes.
Wow. So I'm answering what percentage of people say they actually know how to play Minesweeper?
Right. What percentage of people know how to play Minesweeper?
Okay.
And everyone in the chat, get your answers in. We got wildly different answers in the chat. Joe, you got yours written down? Joey with 38%. Jen, what are you going with? 12%. We got 12 and 38 down there. We got some guesses in the chat. Toronto Dave coming in with 8%. Dame coming in with 77% in this chat. And Dustin, man, this is an elitist Minesweeper take. He doesn't know how to play Minesweeper. I didn't know how until like a week ago, and I still don't really get it.
I didn't know is it still around? Like people still do that? I thought it was like right? I don't know.
The only reason I ever even was exposed to it is it was like preloaded onto Windows 97 or whatever operating system I had. And Dustin said it was designed to teach people how to use a mouse. Ah, well, that's not a number, Dustin. So thanks for the fun fact.
Yeah, but that is a fun fact from Dustin. Like I didn't know that's what it was made for. I just thought it was made for me to learn how to curse.
I threw sass in there, but I'm definitely repeating that. Well, the actual percentage of people that said I know how in this poll was 21%, which means, Jen, you are closer on that one. Going to add 5 points to your score.
Yay!
But Joey is going to win this game. Joey, congrats on the W. And Jen, congrats on getting the last question right there. Jen, I want to thank you so much for being a good sport, putting up with our Dynasty polls, and coming on and hanging out, giving us some of your football knowledge on a Tuesday afternoon.
Absolutely. I apologize for not being a Dynasty person. I had no idea. It's funny how everyone, whatever area you're in, right, that's your world. So like right now I'm all best ball because all the lobbies are open and that's what's going on. So that's where my mentality is. But obviously all the stuff transfers over, just not with polls and picks and stuff. I have no clue what's going on, clearly.
Yeah, you throw a draft pick in there and all of a sudden it's like a foreign language. And then I see best ball ADP and it throws me off to no end at this point. Guys, if you're not already following our friend Jen, go and follow her on Twitter right now. She's on Twitter at Jen Akins. It is right there below her face on the screen, and there's a link in the YouTube bio. Give her a follow and check out her work over at 4for4 and Bet Spurts. And then if you're not sick of us yet, we're going to be live tomorrow morning from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time for the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show. So come and hang out with us then. Wake up early, grab your coffee, grab a donut, grab a blanket and a pillow. I don't know. And come hang out with us bright and early. Jen, thank you so much again. And everybody in the chat, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us on this Tuesday afternoon. Until tomorrow, adios, everybody. Where is that outro?